Be me, 26F, living my best life in a decently sized progressive city. Think Portland but with more humidity. My apartment isn't huge, but it has great natural light for photos, which is the important part. People ask what I do. I tell them I'm a digital creator and activist. It sounds better than part-time data entry for a vaguely defined non-profit that probably just funnels grant money. My real work is online. I'm a mid-tier influencer in the body acceptance space on Insta and TikTok. Got about 80k followers on each. Not a megastar, but I have a community, a loyal one. My DMs are full of girls telling me I saved their lives, that I taught them to love themselves. That's the real paycheck. You know, my whole brand is self-love, not the watered-down corporate-sponsored love your curves stuff. I'm talking about the real stuff, the political stuff. My brand is built on the idea that our society's obsession with weight is the real problem. I preach that traditional metrics don't define your worth or your well-being. The goal is to dismantle the pressure to look a certain way. My body is not a problem to be solved. Society is. The pressures are. The unrealistic standards are. I am living my truth. My followers and I believe we're part of a new way of thinking, free from old-school negativity. A typical Tuesday. Wake up around 10 a.m. Empowerment begins with rejecting the 9-to-5 grind. Scroll through my phone for an hour, mostly checking comments. Blocking trolls. Trolls are anyone who uses words like lifestyle or habits. Instant block. My page is a safe space, not a debate forum. Breakfast is an intuitive meal. Today my intuition is telling me a stack of pancakes with extra syrup and a side of bacon. I take a pic of it first. Caption. Starting my day by nourishing my body and my soul. Unlearning external rules is a daily practice. Hashtag intuitive eating, hashtag free from diets. Then I get ready. This is the content part of the day. I get into a brightly colored dress I bought online. It's a bit snug in the arms and rides up when I walk, but it looks amazing in a static, carefully posed photo. Today's shoot is in front of a mural downtown that says all are welcome. I set up my tripod. Pose with one hand on my hip, my head thrown back in a laugh. The laugh is fake, obviously. It's 11:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. What is there to laugh about? But it looks joyful. It looks unapologetic. That's the brand. Caption. In a world that tries to make you small, take up space. Live loudly. Be a masterpiece and a work in progress. Hashtag body acceptance. Hashtag take up space. Likes pour in. Queen. Goddess. You're glowing. Feelsgoodman.jpg. My boyfriend's name is Robert. He's 27. Works in IT. We met on Hinge. His profile said passionate feminist ally. Jackpot. On our first date, I explained the social pressures on women's bodies for a solid 2 hours. He just listened, nodded, and said, "Wow, I've never thought about it like that before. Thank you." He's perfect. He unlearns his privilege daily. He tells me I'm beautiful constantly. He cooks for me. He always asks if I've eaten. He never ever comments on what I'm eating. My friends think he's a simp. I think he's an evolved man. He's done the work. He adores me. And I see it as the correct and natural order of things. I am a powerful woman. He is my devoted consort. The problem started subtly. It was around Thanksgiving. We drove to my parents' place in the suburbs. It's always tense. They're classic boomers. They worry. My mum, under the guise of love, "Ellie, you look prosperous. That new job must be treating you well." I see right through it. "Mum, please don't use coded language. If you want to comment on my body, just say it." She gets flustered. "No, honey, You have such a pretty face." The classic line, the last refuge of a well-meaning loved one. My face isn't the only valuable part of me, Mum. My entire body is worthy of respect and love, just as it is. I deliver the lines perfectly. They're polished from 100 online arguments. My dad just stares at his plate, carving the turkey like it's a bomb he has to defuse. I leave feeling righteous and exhausted. It's so hard being the only enlightened one in the family. On the drive home, Robert is quiet. "You okay?" I ask him. "Yeah, just thinking. Your mum really loves you. She has a funny way of showing it. She's just from a different generation, Elle. They were taught different things about life. And they were wrong." I snap. It's my job to help them unlearn that. It's all of our jobs. He nods, but keeps looking out the window. A tiny crack in the foundation. Life keeps happening. My apartment is on the 3rd floor. No elevator? By the time I get to my door, I'm out of breath. My knees ache. I don't think maybe I should be more active. I think this building is poorly designed and inaccessible. I start ordering more groceries for delivery. It's a form of self-care. One day, a sharp pain shoots through my right knee just from standing up. It doesn't go away. A dull, constant ache. I complain to Robert. It's the stress of it all. I tell him, the constant fight against these outdated standards is manifesting physically in my body. He frowns. Babe, maybe you should see a doctor. The word hangs in the air. Doctor. Often. The source of the problem. But the pain is real, so I make an appointment. I find one who looks safe. Dr. Evans. His online profile says he's passionate about holistic wellness. His photo shows him with a rainbow pin on his white coat. Okay, maybe this one will be different. The clinic is sterile, smells of antiseptic. My heart is already pounding. Dr. Evans is young, maybe early 30s. Kind eyes. He listens patiently as I describe the knee pain, checks my range of motion, then comes the part I dread. Okay, Ellie, I'm going to have my nurse get your height and check your vitals. I sit up straighter. I'd prefer not to be weighed. My focus is on my overall well-being, not numbers, which can be very triggering. He looks at me for a second, then nods slowly. Okay, we can skip that for now, but it's often a factor in diagnosing joint pain. He takes my blood pressure, the cuff gets incredibly tight. He frowns at the reading. It's a little high. Could be white coat syndrome. Happens all the time. He examines my knee again. So, there are a few things that could be going on, but I need to be frank. The joint is under a lot of stress. There are lifestyle adjustments we could discuss that would be the single most effective way to alleviate that stress. The air goes out of the room. He keeps talking, gently. It acts as a force multiplier on the joint. With a combination of different food choices and some low-impact activity like swimming, we could see a massive improvement in your pain levels. My carefully constructed world shatters. Tears spring to my eyes. My voice is shaking. I came here for help, and you're just shaming me. Do you know how much harm you're causing? I explicitly told you my philosophy on this. Dr. Evans looks genuinely stunned. My intention isn't to shame you at all. It's to help your knee pain. It's just mechanics. Mechanics. I spit the word. You're using mechanics to disguise your bias. I thought you were supposed to be holistic. I'm leaving. I storm out, past the nurse who looks at me with pity. I get to my car and just break down, sobbing, but then instinct kicks in. I pull out my phone. I go live on Instagram, tears streaming down my face. You guys, you won't believe what just happened. I just experienced the most horrific medical bias. I recount the story, framing Evans as a villain. The comments flood in. OMG, I'm so sorry this happened to you. You are so strong. Thank you for sharing your trauma. We have to dismantle this broken system. Report him. This is unacceptable. The validation is a balm. The likes are a painkiller. My video gets shared. 100k views. 200k. I gained 5,000 followers in 2 days. I was a victim, a brave survivor. My pain was content, and the content was good. But back home, away from the screen, the knee still hurt. And Robert was different, distant. He started suggesting things. Hey, the weather's nice this weekend. Maybe we could go for a walk by the river. A walk? I could barely make it to the mailbox without wincing. I'm not really feeling up to it, my knee. Okay. Just an idea. A few days later, I was thinking of trying a meal prep service. Just for a couple of weeks, to make life easier. They have some really interesting options. Interesting options? A code word. I confront him. We're in the kitchen. I'm sitting at the table. He's standing by the counter, arms crossed. What's going on, Robert? What do you mean? The walks. The meal prep. You're starting to sound like Dr. Evans. He winces. That's not it, Ellie. I worry. You worry about my body? I say the word like an accusation. No. I worry about you. I worry that you're in pain. I worry that you're so isolated in this online world. You got into a fight with a doctor who was trying to help you and you called it a victory. I see red. The ultimate betrayal. So that's what this is. After all this time, after all the work I did to help you see things clearly. This isn't about seeing things clearly, he yells, his voice cracking, the first time he's ever raised his voice at me. This is about you. You pretend to be happy for your followers, but you're in pain. You can't walk up the stairs, and you treat everyone who doesn't perfectly agree with you like they're an evil bigot. I feel like I'm dating a cult leader, not a person. I just stare at him, speechless. I love you, he says, his voice dropping to a whisper. But I can't do this anymore. I can't watch you call this empowerment. It's not. It's just digging yourself into a deeper hole. And just like that, he was packing a bag. He was gone. I did what I knew how to do. I turned my pain into a post, long, multi-part Instagram story. Black and white photos of me looking sad. For those asking about Robert, we are no longer together. It's painful, but sometimes you learn that a person's allyship is conditional. He couldn't handle being with a powerful woman who refuses to shrink herself. Please respect my privacy during this radical act of self-preservation. The support was overwhelming. My DMs were a tidal wave of "fuck him, Queen, and you're better off without him." I believed it, for a week. Then the quiet set in. The apartment was huge and silent. No one was there to tell me I was a goddess when I came out of the bathroom. No one to cook for me. My follower count was up, but my life was empty. The non-profit called restructuring. My position was eliminated. I knew the real reason. My boss had seen my viral doctor video. She was a polite liberal, not a burn-it-all-down radical. My brand had become too controversial for her grant applications. My cousin's wedding was the next circle of hell. Had to find a dress. Hours of frustration in poorly lit dressing rooms. Sweating under the lights. I ended up ordering a flowing floral dress from a specialty website. It cost $200. At the reception, I saw people I hadn't seen since high school. They were different. They had mortgages, talked about their 401ks, showed me pictures of their kids, their trips to Italy, their golden retrievers. They were living, and I was, what? Curating a grievance feed on Instagram? I felt a deep, dark pang of jealousy. I told myself it was pity. They were just cogs in the machine. They didn't know the struggle. They weren't important like me. Felt less like a guest and more like I was just there. A satellite in someone else's orbit. The wedding photographer corralled us all for a group picture. A week later, it was posted on Facebook. I zoomed in on myself, and for the first time, I didn't see a fierce goddess. I saw a woman wedged between two old classmates, my face swollen and puffy, my smile a pained grimace. I looked sick. I looked deeply, profoundly unhappy. The narrative short-circuited. The voice in my head wasn't a supportive follower. It was just me. And it whispered, "Is this winning?" I shook it off. Internalized bias. The world trying to get in my head. I went home and posted an angry TikTok about how wedding photographers use unflattering angles. It didn't go viral. The next few months were a blur of delivery apps and Netflix. I barely posted. My community moved on. There was a new outrage, a new queen to rally behind. The algorithm forgot me. My savings dwindled. Rent was due. The knee pain was a constant, grinding presence. Loneliness was a physical weight. One night, I woke up at 3 a.m. My heart was hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I couldn't get a full breath. A crushing weight on my chest. My left arm tingling. This is it. Something is seriously wrong. Panic like I've never known. This wasn't medical trauma for content. This was real. I fumbled for my phone. My fingers numb and clumsy. I dialed 911. The ER was bright and loud and terrifying. They hooked me up to machines, wires everywhere. The constant, rhythmic beep of the heart monitor. It wasn't a major cardiac event. A severe panic attack, they said, exacerbated by other issues. The doctor who saw me was a woman in her late 50s. Tired, no bullshit eyes. She looked at my chart, then at me. "Well, Ellie," she said, her voice calm. "The good news is you're not in immediate danger tonight. The bad news is that your body's under a lot of strain. We need to take care of you before it gets worse." I opened my mouth to say something, to give my speech, but no words came out. "Your vitals are showing a lot of stress. Your body's been carrying more than it can handle for a while now. If we don't make some changes soon, it's going to start breaking down in ways that are hard to reverse." She leaned forward slightly. "This isn't about positivity. This is about physiology. This isn't about loving yourself in the abstract. This is about whether you want to have a future where you feel well. Forget the internet. Forget what the bloggers are telling you. Your body is telling you something right now. Are you going to listen? In that sterile room, under the hum of the fluorescent lights, there was no audience, No DMs to check, no caption to write. The ideology evaporated. All that was left was the terrifying truth. The goddess was gone. The queen was dethroned. It was just me, a scared, unwell girl, hooked up to a machine. I had to make the call. Mum, it's me. Can you come get me? I'm at the hospital. She was there in 20 minutes. She didn't say I told you so. She didn't lecture me. When she saw me in the hospital bed, her face just crumpled. She took my hand, the first time we'd touched in years, and we both just cried. Her silence was the most damning indictment of all. Be me, 27, living back with my parents, sleeping in the same twin bed I had in high school, with the faded band posters on the wall. My Instagram account is gone. I deleted it, watched 80,000 followers vanish into the ether. It felt like nothing. My days are quiet. I go for short, painful walks around the block. My dad walks with me sometimes. We don't talk much. I help my mum with groceries. I read the labels now. Information I used to call toxic. Now it's just information. Last night, my mum left a brochure on my nightstand. A local nutritionist. She put it next to a glass of water and my new medication bottle. She didn't say a word about it this morning. After she left for work, I picked it up, read the whole thing. It talks about balanced meals and sustainable changes. It doesn't use the word goddess once. I caught my reflection in the dark screen of my laptop today. No cute outfit, no defiant pose, hair in a messy bun, puffy eyes. I didn't look like a warrior. I didn't look empowered. I just looked tired. So fucking tired. The movement didn't free me. It built a prison around me and convinced me to call it a throne. It wasn't about being positive about my body. It was about being negative toward anyone who disagreed. It was a mistake. My mistake.